Shalom or shalom, it's just Siberia. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Most High put this in my spirit. I wanted to come on here, do something different for y'all, and give y'all 6 tips on how to have your home running smoothly, as effectively as possible, no chaos, no stress. So let's get into it. First, I want to give y'all 2 scriptures to meditate on as we go throughout this video. And I'm not gonna make it too long. 6 practical real life tips that we can do. But let's meditate on this. Sirach 26:16. As the sun, when it arises in the high heaven, shows the beauty of a good wife and the ordering of her house. It's also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. It's in the Apocrypha, the lost books of the Bible. You can find it on Amazon. Now let's go to Proverbs 31:27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So, as women, it is our duty by God, Most High has commanded us to have our home in order. But how can you have order if you don't have a routine, if it's no structure, if it's no plan, if it's chaotic? That's no order. So, come along with me and look. Don't come in my comments crying, complaining about why you can't do it and this and that. Because if you wanted to, you would. And it's okay, because I once was the mother that slept in late with her kids, that didn't have a routine, that didn't have structure. I was once that mother, but I had to go through that season to get to where I am now. And now I feel better. I feel more at peace. There's more structure in my home. My home's feel more peaceful. It's not chaotic. And it just feels better. So, hey, this is for the women that want to grow and learn. So come on with me. Let's get it. All right, tip number 1, the most important: pray over your children and read with them and over them. What I like to personally do is every morning I like to read a chapter of Proverbs to my daughters and pray over them. And then at night I like to read a chapter of Psalms and pray over them. And then, throughout the day, you want to make sure you have some biblical content going for them, biblical activities, things based around this word. And you can pray over them in the daytime as well. Psalm 65 tell us pray at morning and evening at noon. So that's a great kind of structure to have with your children. We're supposed to train them up in his laws and his commandments, so when they're old, they don't depart from it. So it's very important that we instill this word in them while they're young. That's the first tip. Pray over your children. When your children are walking around with attitude, slamming stuff, rebuke that spirit off your children. Bind and rebuke that spirit. Titus 2:15 tells us to rebuke with all authority. So let's make sure that we are, first of all, in our word, so our children can be in the word as well. Tip number 2, always close your home and your kitchen every evening. You shouldn't go to bed. Now, granted, life happens. Life be lifing sometimes. So you might have just had a baby. Y'all might be under the weather. Y'all might have just came back on vacation. And so some nights, you might have a few dishes in the sink. But it shouldn't be a routine thing. Every night before you go to bed, you should at least have your home tidied up. I'm not saying you have to do a deep clean every day. It's actually going to go into point number 3. But at least clean the kitchen before you go to bed. Make sure that there's, you cleaned up the kids' food. Don't leave the bathroom looking a hot mess after bath time. Reset your home so you wake up, you have a fresh start. This makes a huge difference. Tip number 3, tidy up all throughout the day as you go and have a routine. Shut it for him. 1 room a day keeps the clutter away. Now, this is from the Soulful Homemaker, but I believe she changed her @ so I will @ her in the comment section. But 1 room a day. Now, this is just personal, and you could even change it to what you want to do personally, like, because this already came formatted. You could put some white out and just write what you want to do every day, but tailor it to your family, your home. But you see how kitchen is Mondays, Tuesdays living room, Wednesdays bedrooms, Thursdays bathrooms, Friday laundry room, entry room, Sunday start of the week, and then you have the everyday checklist. Do something every day, so that way when it's time to Sabbath prep, you don't have, your house is not a mess, and it's not you're not scrambling all over the place trying to get your home clean for the Sabbath. You got to clean the bedroom, the living room, the laundry room, the bathroom. You got to do everything because you're not doing anything throughout the week. Remember, it's our job as women to have order and structure in our home, so it's our job to make sure our home is clean. You don't have to deep clean every day, even if that means washing dishes throughout the day as you go. So by the time it's dinner time, you can cook dinner in a clean kitchen and you don't have a pile of dishes in the sink. Even if that means, now, something personal, what I like to do is every transition is a clean. Example, I give you an example. If we're finna leave the house, I'm not leaving my living room a mess. I'm not leaving my kitchen a mess. I'm not leaving the bed unmade. You should be making your bed every morning. But before we go anywhere else, before we leave a room, we're cleaning this room. Another example, after bath time, I'm not leaving the bathroom a hot mess. It's gonna get tidied up when I'm done. And now, granted, I am breastfeeding a 3-month-old, so I might have to come back to that task later. I might have to stop her and feed her, but I'm going to get back to it when I'm done. So even if that means you have to tend to the children, feed the baby, whatever the case may be, but make sure you go back to that task. So let's make sure we're cleaning throughout the day, cleaning, washing the dishes throughout the day, so it's not a pile at the end of the night. Cleaning room a day, one room a day keeps the clutter away. So that way, again, by Sabbath prep, you're not scrambling with like a chicken with its head cut off. You got a million things to clean because you weren't keeping your home clean throughout the week. Tip number 4. This is the toy box. This is the toy box, and it's a recycled Pampers box. All right, and I keep some toys in here. Now, this is tip number 4, and I learned this working at a preschool. Don't let your child play with every single toy that they own every day, because then your house will really look like an earthquake. I'm gonna give y'all a pro tip. Have a box of designated toys that they can play with every day or every week, and then you can rotate it. If they have plenty of toys, you can rotate it out daily, rotate it out weekly, however you choose to do, whatever works best for y'all and y'all's family and y'all household. But we're not playing with the whole shebang every day. We're gonna have a designated set of toys because my house is not about to look like an earthquake. Okay, and when you're done, you're gonna clean them up. And also, to point number 3, let your kids help you clean. Brielle, she knows how to put her toys back in here. Sometimes, granted, I'll do it too. But Brielle, she knows how to clean behind herself, and she's only one. All praise to the Most High, about to be 2. Start your children young. Train them up young. Let them help you clean. Let them help you sweep. Let them help you mop the floor. Tell them to pick up their shoes. Teach them. Tip number 5, start with what you have. I don't have a designated homeschool room because that's not the space I have. I don't have a big, large homeschool area or teaching room, but this is what I got, and I make it work. You don't need the big, large stuff. You don't need a big, large homeschool room, and that's beautiful. All praise to the Most High. But if you don't have that, that's not an excuse to not do it. You don't need a big homeschool section. You don't need a big homeschool designated room if you don't have that at the moment. So make what you got work. This is our little homeschool section, and you can come down. This is our little homeschool section. I ain't gonna say lil, but this is our homeschool section. And so every day we have a different activity that we do. Like we do last week was the letter P. She traces her name and her numbers, and then we go through the alphabet. And we have something different that we do every day. Every week we have a different theme that we do. So make what you got work. We sit down, I'm on my knees and she's standing up beside me. And this is what we make work. This is our section. So make what you got work. If you have a table designated for learning time or corner designated to it, make what you got work and start somewhere, because the babies need to learn and they not waiting on you to get a extra large deluxe classroom for you to teach them. Last tip number 6, plan your week and plan your day. So what I like to do is I like to get a whiteboard. And that's all I'm going to show y'all because I got some personal stuff on here. But I like to get a whiteboard and write out my days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And of course, Saturday is a Shabbat. And Sunday is typically a weekly reset. We might have plans. So each day I like to write out goals that I want to do and things that I need to get done for the day. And then at the beginning of the week, I kind of like to have typically what I do this on Sundays. I write out my week on Sundays. But sometimes if I don't have like a super busy week, I just maybe write out Monday, and whatever pops up and comes up as the days along, I write it out Tuesday, get this done, Wednesday, get this done, Thursday, get this done. So that way I have goals that I'm actively achieving, things that I'm actually getting done around the house and being productive in my day, and I'm not sitting around being idle. Because remember, Proverbs 31, she eateth not the bread of idleness. Plan out your meals. Set aside designated time to write out what y'all are going to eat for the week, what y'all are going to eat for the next 2 weeks. Pinterest it up, Instagram it up, whatever you have to do to make sure that you have a plan set for your family, what y'all are going to eat, things y'all have planned, things that you have planned as a woman individually. Write those things down. Have a plan, have a routine, have a structure. Have some structure. So I hope that these 6 tips helped. I hope that it can give you some tips on how to have more structure, more peace, and less chaos. Again, I used to be the mom that slept in with her children. I used to be the mom that didn't wake up before her kids. But now, all praise to the Most High, I have a lot more structure, a lot more peace, and it's not chaotic. The last thing I wanted to say was get up before your kids, even if it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. Wake up before your kids. Have that quiet time to read to yourself, to read with yourself, and spend a long time with the Most High before the day gets started. And before you go to bed, make sure you spend the time with the Most High as well. But I also want to say, have your kids on a bedtime. Have a designated bedtime, a designated nap time, a designated wake up time. So that way you can have quiet time in the morning And at night, you can spend time with your husband. We wonder why we're so stressed, why we feel so out of the spirit, why we're so down. And it's because you don't have structure. It's because you're teaching your kids to not have structure. It's because your home is chaotic. You don't have a bedtime for them. You don't have a nap time. You don't have a morning time. You sleep in with them every day. You don't wake up before them to have a long time by yourself. And then you wonder why you're so stressed and everything is all over the place. That's because your home is not in order. And clutter brings spirits. So when there is not structure and peace in your home, then that's gonna reflect on you, and then that's what you're teaching your children. So hopefully this helps. Again, it's for the women that want to grow. That come on, complaining. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.